Imagine, you're lost in a desert, miles away from civilization. What will you eat? A chilling thought, isn't it? Suddenly, the vast expanse of sand and sun doesn't seem so appealing. The initial shock may send waves of panic through your body, your mind racing with the fear of the unknown. But here's the thing, fear won't help you survive. It's your ability to remain calm, to focus on the task at hand that will make all the difference. The desert, as hostile as it may seem, is not devoid of life. It's not devoid of food. It's just a matter of knowing where to look, what to look for. So here's the real question. If you were thrown into this hypothetical desert dilemma, would you know how to find and prepare food? Your survival, after all, hinges on this very skill. Your survival depends on your ability to find and prepare food in the desert. Are you ready to learn? First things first, know your surroundings. The desert isn't just sand and cacti. It's a vast and diverse ecosystem, teeming with life. And yes, that includes edible plants as well. Let's delve into some of these desert delicacies, shall we? Starting off with the prickly pear cactus, a plant as formidable as it is fruitful. This spiky survivor is identifiable by its flat, green, paddle-like segments adorned with clusters of tiny hair-like prickles. But don't let those prickles deter you, because beneath them lies a treasure trove of nutrition. The fruit of this cactus, aptly named the prickly pear, is ripe for the picking. Just remember to use a stick or gloves to remove the prickles before digging in. Moving on, let's talk about the yucca, a plant with a multitude of uses. Standing tall with its spiky leaves and clusters of white bell-shaped flowers, the yucca is hard to miss. The flowers are not only edible, but are also quite delicious, with a slightly sweet taste. The roots, too, can be cooked and eaten. But remember, always handle the yucca with care to avoid its sharp leaves. Last but not least, we have the mesquite, a tree that offers more than just shade in the desert. This plant is identifiable by its feathery leaves and long seed pods that resemble a string of beads. The seed pods can be ground into a nutritious flour, making mesquite a valuable food source. So, there you have it, a quick guide to some of the edible plants you can find in the desert. But remember, proper identification and safe handling are essential when dealing with wild plants. Always ensure you're picking the right plant and use tools or gloves to avoid injuries. Remember, the desert is full of surprises. With the right knowledge, you can turn a prickly situation into a meal. If plants aren't enough, the desert offers a variety of insects and reptiles that can be a great source of protein. This might make some of you uneasy, but when it comes to survival, you have to use what's available. Insects might not be your first choice for a meal, but they are abundant in most deserts. Ants, beetles, and grasshoppers are quite the delicacy in many parts of the world. They're packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals, making them a nutritious option. Some might even say they have a nutty flavor, so think of them as nature's crunchy snack. To find these insects, look under rocks or in the sand. Use a stick or your hands to carefully dig them up. But remember, not all bugs are safe to eat. Avoid brightly colored insects and those with a strong smell. When in doubt, it's better to go hungry than to risk poisoning yourself. Moving on to reptiles. Lizards and snakes are another unlikely desert food source. These creatures are also rich in protein, but catching them requires a bit more skill. For lizards, look in shaded areas during the hottest parts of the day. They prefer cooler spots to avoid overheating. When you spot one, move slowly and quietly to avoid scaring it away. A swift grab should do the trick. Once caught, it's essential to cook the lizard thoroughly to kill any potential parasites. Snakes, on the other hand, are a bit trickier. They are more active during cooler times of the day, such as dawn and dusk. Approach with extreme caution, as some desert snakes are venomous. If you're confident it's a non-venomous snake, a quick strike to the head should incapacitate it. Just like with lizards, cooking is vital. In survival situations, it's about taking advantage of every resource, including those that creep, crawl, or slither. Finding food in a desert can seem daunting, but it's not impossible if you know where to look. The vast expanse of sand may appear devoid of life, yet it is home to a surprising variety of edible plants and creatures. The key to survival is to stay calm, make astute observations, and use your knowledge to turn the desert's offerings into sustenance. The desert is not just about cacti and tumbleweeds. It's a treasure trove of edible plants like the prickly pear cactus, agave, and yucca. These plants not only provide food but also precious water. But don't overlook the small creatures scurrying or slithering around you. Insects and reptiles, though not your typical dinner fare, can be a crucial source of protein in survival scenarios. Remember, survival is not about what you'd prefer to eat, but what you can find to eat. So if you ever find yourself lost in a desert, remember these tips and you might just find your way to survival.